Hey y'all, I'm Carolina Tony. Thank you for stopping by my channel. Today, the road brings us to Georgetown, South Carolina. There are not many folks out. The state has opened up some things in South Carolina, so we're able to get out a little bit. And as you can see, the streets are bare, so we don't have to worry about giving or getting any kind of virus or anything. But we are going to explore this beautiful town of Georgetown, the boardwalk, some historical buildings, and all kinds of other stuff. But right after this station identification. This is the Georgetown Hound Clock. This building was built in 1842 after a fire destroyed nearly all the wood frame buildings downtown. It had an open air market down below, which has now been closed in, and the clock was added around 1845. Downstairs now, of course, is closed. It's called the Rice Museum. That kind of gives us a history of the rice that was so prevalent in the 18th and 19th centuries down on the coast. Okay, we're going to go out on the harbor walk. It's shopping and dining. Of course, museums hadn't opened back up, but there's a South Carolina Maritime Museum. Might be good to come back later on and check that place out. There are lots of little restaurants and all right here on the wharf. They say Georgetown has deep navigable rivers that historically serve the city in the safest and easiest routes for trading. 4 rivers flow together to form Wynyard Bay. Sanpet, Waccamaw, Petey, and Black rivers. They all come together here in Georgetown. But of course, Georgetown is right on the coast, and the Petey River flows into Wynyard Bay, which is right here. And up the Petey River is Cheraw, where I'm from, which was also a port and trading city, but about 2 hours inland. Here's a real neat looking little restaurant. Big Tuna Restaurant and Raw Bar. Almost like a ghost town. There's a big steel mill over there that has, in the last few years, opened back up after being shut down for quite a long time, supplying jobs for all the local people. All types of little restaurants. I will definitely have to come back here after everything opens back up. This is so cool. Check this vintage boat out. Looks like something out of a Humphrey Bogart movie, doesn't it? Little shutter windows on the side. That's so cool. This looks like some type of research festival called the Coastal Explorer. Well, actually, look, I was right. It says right on the bow of the ship, research, Coastal Carolina University. This is called the Kaminsky House. It's a house and a museum. It is built overlooking the Sanpet River. This is pre-Revolutionary War house. The house takes its name from Julia and Harold Kaminsky in 1931. They purchased the house. They purchased the house in 1931. Mr. Kaminsky was the mayor of Georgetown, and they had the house restored. And it's built so that it can take advantage of the cool breezes coming in off of the Sandpit River. This is called the Robert Stewart House. It is the only house in Georgetown that was built entirely of brick before the Revolutionary War. They say that the Masonic Lodge entertained George Washington lavishly here. It's a private residence now, so I don't think you can go in and look, but you can look from the outside. This is the old Georgetown courthouse. It was built by famous Robert Mills between 1824 and 1825. You may know Robert Mills being a famous South Carolina architect. He also designed the Washington Monument. Robert Mills himself called this a great ornament to Georgetown. It is a beautiful building. This house is one of Georgetown's oldest homes. Was built in 1737. Is known by the John and Mary Perry Cleveland House. This is actually the back of the house. The front of the house is facing the Sandpit River. This house is called a raised tide water house. This is actually the front, even though it's now the back, and it looks like the back, so it's been evidently remodeled over the years. But it's called a raised tidewater house because the Sandpit River being right there, and here's a sign that tells you 100-year flood level, 6 foot deep at this location. So standing here, I could be under 6 feet of water. It's something I love about these old southern towns with the tree-lined street and all these antebellum homes. Just to give you a little idea of where we are basically in the heart of town. As you can see, there are buildings all about us. Right over that direction is the Sandpit River. We're standing in the cemetery that was built for the family of the planner of the town, the man that designed it. Elijah Scraven. As part of the town plans, Elijah had planned for his family to be buried right here in the middle of town. Elijah, 1629 to 1713. This was the home of Joseph Hayne Rainey. He was the first African American elected to the U.S. House of Representatives from 1870 to 79. He was born in Georgetown County in 1832. It's said that he made blockade running trips during the Civil War, and he was a delegate to the Constitutional Convention in 1868, and he served 2 years in the Senate. There's no way that I can give you all the information on all the houses in this town, because there are literally hundreds. But hopefully this will just tickle your interest and make you want to come check it out yourself. This is the Red Oak Store Warehouse. It is the oldest commercial building in Georgetown County from around 1765. It's right here on the waterfront. Here's Here's a shrimp dock seafood market right on the river with these shrimp boats. Well, that's going to do it for our short trip here to Georgetown, South Carolina. I hope you have enjoyed the trip. There's so much here that I could not even begin to touch the tip of the iceberg. But hopefully you found enough interesting here. You may want to come check it out for yourself. There's lots of places to eat, some good seafood. And in fact, I'm fixing to go find some myself. Thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to tell your family and friends. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so, if you will. But for now, y'all have a good day.